You can see here, now there is no spaces, just fine. Now, if I do this of the, wow, it has taken it. So Python understands that's a datetime format, right? But can I change the format? Can I change the format? Of course, if you write in something else, some absurd value 25 space AU space 2012, it's not going to work, right? Because it's August, it's an abbreviated form. That is why it's able to understand it. And by the way, above, when we have all these August, September, October, right, Saturday, we can convert these to abbreviated versions also. There are functions available in datetime as well as in pandas. Now, if I want to change the format a little bit, okay, it has already understood that this is 2012, 8, 25th August. But if I want to change the format, I may change the format as well. So let's see if I can do this. Okay. Format is equal to, what is the first format? It is day, month, it's given by B, and then percentage Y. Capital Y means 4-number format. Small y means two number formats. Earlier we had 1998, we used to have 98. Nowadays we write the entire year, right? So similarly, capital Y will represent the 4-number year format. So once I do this, okay, it is understood. So without even putting the format also, it understands. That's what I'm trying to say here. Okay, but can I change this format? Right? Can I change this format? Also, you can do. So first, let's try to convert the format first. Datetime is equal to pd dot datetime, and this will be, by the way, datetime underscore format. This will be datetime. And right format is not necessary here because we saw that without even putting the format, it was understanding it, right? So it's okay, fine. You may not, it's not compulsory. Right? Now, if I want to change the format, what will I do? Suppose I have a date time, which is, say, C is equal to, say, 2011, 08, 24. Okay. Now, if I want it to make it to a convert to a datetime format, what will I do? So will pd dot underscore datetime work here? It has worked, by the way. Can I make it work with other datetime objects, libraries? Yes, datetime, right? Dot datetime dot str. This will be strict time. And then you can put the string here with the format. Okay. What does the format say? Percentage Y space percentage M percentage T. Right. So basically, when your month is in abbreviated form, right, with characters like AUG August, then you have to use B. If your month is in number format like 8 or whatever it is, then you have to use M, small m. Okay. Okay. But can I change this format to some other format now? Now let's say I'm saving this in D. Okay. Now D dot strf time, watching date time. I can change it to percentage D, comma, percentage Y. August 24, 2011. Which means that I can convert any type of string data, which is in a suitable format, of course, to a datetime format. I can convert a datetime to any other format which I want to use. So datetime object has a strp time, strip time, which basically converts string to a datetime object, and also has a strf time, which converts the datetime object to a string, again back to a string. But here you can specify what format of strings you want, right? So that is the suitability of datetime. Okay, so datetime, for date conversions from one format to another, try using datetime. It is easier to use datetime than timestamp. But if you're trying to convert a string to a datetime format in pandas directly for all the rows, then you can directly use the pandas to underscore datetime. But if you want to change the format, quick with the format, then you can play around with datetime. Sometimes we'll have an Excel sheet where the first 100 observations will have a different datetime format. Second, again, with a datetime format. Then you have to use a datetime library to convert it, because datetime, for conversion of one format to another, the datetime library has easier syntaxes. All right, coming back to our data frame. Okay, once Python has understood that's a datetime format, then you can do anything, right? The same way which we had calculated before, you can use all the functionalities, right? Correct. Dot year, dot month, day of the week, day of the year, right? Difference of dates, then extract the day difference exactly in integer format. All those things you can do, right? But there is one more thing very interesting which I wanted to show you guys, and that is the time zone change. I can change the date with respect to a different time zone. So let's say if I want to convert it to an Asian time zone, okay? So what I'll do, df2 of Asian time zone is equal to df2 of, say, datetime format first dot tt dot tz underscore localize of Asia, or you can put as Calcutta also. This word df2 dot. If you want not remember the syntaxes, it's fine, guys. You can copy and paste it for my code, no problem. But you should know that these functionalities are available in Python. We can change the time zone as well with respect to our time zone. We can also use some other time zones, right? So now I can use the UTC time zone also, UTC underscore time zone. And instead of the TZ, I'll use, instead of localize, I'll do TZ convert to UTC. This work is saying cannot convert timestamps to this. Oh, I'm sorry, I have to convert Asian time zone to UTC, right? So I have to do something like this. Be very careful, guys. First, you have to localize the date time format, which Python understands as date time. But first localize it with respect to your place, and then you can convert that localized time zone to other time zones. Okay. First, you have to localize, and then you can convert. Very simple. So if you're in Europe, you can localize with respect to your place, and then you convert to Asian time, whatever it is. So now if I look at the type of data, df2.ilog of say 0, minus 2. See? And if I do the same for minus 1, it's a timestamp, but with a time zone. Right? Okay. Now, if my data frame itself has timestamp only, okay, as I was mentioning in the couple of minutes back, how do I convert to a datetime format? Suppose I have an Excel sheet like this. Let's say, right? So you can see here, these are all timestamp values. Okay, data with timestamp. Now let's try to read this file. df3 is equal to df3 pd dot, sorry, read underscore csv r of data sets or data with timestamp. That's CSV. Great. All these code and data sets will be available in GitHub link, which I'll mention in the description, guys. Now, can I convert it to a datetime format? So if I do df.dtypes, sorry, df3.dtypes, my bad. All of them are integers. Now, how do I understand that this timestamp stands for a particular year, month, day, hour, milliseconds, right? So for that, again, pandas datetime can easily help us do it. You can say datetime underscore format is equal to pd.to underscore date time of df of, what is the column name? Timestamp. Simply doing this will not work. You have to mention what unit this timestamp is in. This is in seconds, not milliseconds. This is in seconds. What happened here? Oh, this should be df3, by the way. Right? So df3 dot head Now again, it has come to a timestamp format. Again, you can extract any information out just like the way we did it in the previous cases. Okay, guys, that is all for today. So we tried handling different types of data which was in string format with numbers, data which was at string format but with names of months like August, AUG. We saw how to deal with those and convert it to a date time format. We also saw how to convert from one date time format to another date time format. Right. We also saw if the data itself is in timestamp format, how do I convert it to a date time format, which Python understands that it's a date time type of data. So this is how we handle time series data, guys. And you should know, one should know to handle time series data, especially if you're working in industry where you're handling with data which is dependent on time. Right? Most of the data, or a significant amount of data which we have in the market today are dependent on time, and hence we have to handle them in a very different way, unlike the other types of data which we generally come across. Time series analysis itself is a separate, machine learning, case study or machine learning chapter altogether, where we handle sequential data which follows a time series sequence. So I hope you liked today's session. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you have loved today's session. I will come up with much more interesting case studies as well, since we have almost finished the Python advanced level as well, NumPy and Pandas. Next, we'll start off with visualization. So please stay tuned for the next playlist of visualization. Subscribe to our channel, and happy learning, guys.